A 19-year-old boy got addicted to internet in Thailand. How could he become a billionaire? The main character is Tob, who is a high school student with a strong and persistent personality. He is very passionate about electronics and interested in making money. One day, he accidentally found out that he could buy and sell in the game. He earned his first pot of gold from the game. With that amount, he became very rich, even bought himself a car. He even drove to the school, occupying the principal's parking slot. That's why Tob made the principal very unhappy. The principal feels that Tob is a useless rich kid who only knows how to waste money. Tob's car purchase was also discovered by his family. They thought that the money for the car was due to Tob's winning cards, so they started scolding him. Tob told them even though his record was not good, he still could use the money to get into a noble school. His parents are very disappointed. Tob continues his business of reselling games, but the system locked his game account because of business detection. All devices are no longer available. The money in the card is only 50,000. Even though his parents don't talk much, their business is not good. But he still withdrew a sum of money and gave it to Tob. Tob, due to his self-esteem, returned the money to his father, saying that he could handle it on his own. He went to the DVD store where he bought a lot of DVDs before. He wants to earn a lot of money thanks to that, but the boss here cheated him as a result. He went to find him to talk to him, but he beat him up. Tob stole his father's Buddha face amulet and took it away to exchange money and pay for school fees. Because of his lack of confidence, when he entered university, he was completely in no mood to study. He always think in his heart how to redeem the Buddha face amulet. On one occasion when he passed by a food industry fair, here he discovered an automatic chestnut roaster. Because in Thailand, at that time, all chestnuts were roasted by hand, he saw this as a good opportunity. Under the skepticism of his parents, he bought this chestnut machine and paid it monthly. The first batch of roasted chestnuts didn't taste good. He immediately tried to learn, from choosing chestnuts, how to roast chestnuts. With constant effort, Tob finally managed to mutter delicious roasted chestnuts. Even the doubtful father eats well. The housekeeper also started helping Tob sell chestnuts at the mall. The number of chestnuts sold was not much. He discovered that he had chosen the wrong flavor. He negotiated with the owner of the mall to change the location. The business went very well. He opened a few more branches. Since your chestnuts are sold at places, the roasting smoke has polluted the air around the mall. It was complained by a lot of people, so he was kicked out of the mall. At this time, the family's business is also failed, and the house and warehouse are all mortgaged. The whole family flew to China to avoid debt, but he didn't want to leave like that. Tob's business also failed, no relatives, nothing. When he was about to fall, he hugged his girlfriend. The girl, after knowing the story, advised him to study properly. Tob hastily agreed. Once he took his girlfriend for a walk, he ate seaweed with a strange taste brought by his girlfriend. He seems to see the sun again. He wants to sell seaweed. Then, he did what he said. He went to the university's food teacher. He asked about how to dispose of food. He bought a vacuum cleaner, imported seaweed. He and the housekeeper started to try it. However, he has fried a few boxes of seaweed but the taste is still bitter. The housekeeper looked at each box of seaweed, not heartless. She advised him to give up. If not, he would lose more and more. Tob doesn't want to give up at all. He sold his computer, bought more seaweed. When he was about to go home, it suddenly rained heavily. It was not easy to get home. He saw the butler with his head covered in blood lying on the floor. He rushed to take him to the hospital. He stayed up all night to pray. This is the only relative next to him. Fortunately, he was not hurt. The next day, when he returned home, he continued to use the seaweed that he bought to try again. But the result is still the same. The seaweed box is empty. In his moment of despair, there was a packet of seaweed on the ground that was blown away by the rain. With the mood like a broken bottle, he took the wet seaweed and put it in the oil pot. This piece of seaweed is sweet and crispy, but it's delicious to eat. The housekeeper also praised him after eating, so Tob and the housekeeper opened sales in the center again. The street trading went smoothly. He wrote in his hand the goal of earning 1 million. His parents also called to ask about the situation, but when he asked how much money he still owed, his father said his family owed 40 million baht. Looking at the frame of Tob's family, he felt a lot of pressure. One night he went to a convenience store having many branches to buy stuff. He suddenly thought, if he could get their consent, his seaweed would be sold nationwide. He called the headquarters. The next day he went to this famous convenience store company. The packaging of the seaweed product is too big to be placed on the product shelf. They haven't tried it yet and rejected him. After going home, his girlfriend came to find him. She told him not to make seaweed anymore, just study hard. Tob and his girlfriend had an argument. Even though they loved each other, they still broke up. As the days went on, he started spending money to hire a packaging designer. Tob took the new packaging seaweed, and went to the convenience store company again. Because there was no appointment, the receptionist told him that the director was very busy. He fell asleep while waiting. When he woke up, he found that no one had called him. He left in tears, then he gave the box of seaweed back to the staff. Some of the store's employees are also entering the elevator right now. Immediately, they asked for what they are, and took away a few packets to try. He constantly shared with his colleagues, "Luck has come." Tob was informed that his product was accepted. The director is very pleased with his seaweed, but for the product to be consumed, it is required to check the factory, production scale, food safety and hygiene. He went to the director of the bank, and told him about his problem. He really wanted to lend him, but the 19-year-old was not suitable for the loan. Tob was under great pressure. He sat in the car, and shouted loudly, then immediately sold his last property. Damp opened the warehouse that was confiscated by the bank, hastily repaired into a factory. When the director came to check, he found a lot of things that were not in accordance with the regulations. But seeing a 19-year-old man dare to do anything because of his dream, the convenience store finally agreed to sell your seaweed. At the end, on that delivery day, at 5 a.m., the goods were loaded into the car. Tob looked at the housekeeper who was devoted to him, ran to him and hugged him. The movie ended. Tob sat alone on the shelves of goods. He choked up and called his parents, just saying one sentence that everyone can go home now.